Hi YouTubers, and welcome to Poor Man's Gun Club. Here again with an interesting little review, I guess you could say, of this 1887 Norinco. I guess it's actually not even a Norinco, it's a Dominion Arms. Dominion Arms 1887. It was basically a copy of John Browning's lever-action shotgun made for Winchester back in 1887. Now, a little bit of history on this bad boy. It's not a Dominion Arms history, but it's a Winchester history. Yeah. Winchester had asked John Moses Browning to design them a lever-action rifle, a lever-action shotgun, instead of the typical double-barrel, single-barrel shotguns of the day.
Which was everywhere. Everyone had a coach gun.
Everybody had a coach gun. Everybody and their grandmother had a coach gun.
Picture old granny sitting out on the porch. Get off my lawn!
You bastards! I'm gonna get you! You know, typical granny in the Old West, right?
Thanks for pointing at me when you said that.
Well,
appreciate it.
Perfect granny impression.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
So yeah, this is a 12 gauge shotgun, and basically Winchester had asked John Moses Browning to make them a lever action shotgun. John Moses Browning kind of was a little bit iffy on the whole idea. He wasn't really wanting to make a lever action shotgun, mostly because he already had designs planned out for semi-automatics and pump actions, which he thought was going to be far, far more superior. And of course, he's right, because you know, they're not nearly as awkward to handle, and they're not.
They may not be, you know, as awkward to handle. They may be a bit more effective, but you just can't beat the badassery of this weapon.
Just the whole action of a lever is just it brings you back.
Well, yeah.
You know, like it's just, you know.
I mean, can I see that?
Yeah.
Like, I like this kind better because it's not the big loop. It's kind that I think John Wayne had it, eh?
John Wayne, the Terminator.
Yeah,
everybody.
But I mean, you honestly feel like such a badass, though. Just
yeah,
like
he can handle a racket a lot better than I
can. But I mean, because Arnie used this kind of gun, John Wayne used this kind of gun, so I mean, just the movie history behind it also, and it's just a beautiful gun. I mean, it's not too bad for weight-wise. I mean, compared to my 820B, it's actually just a little bit heavier, but it's also a bit thicker too.
Yeah, it's quite the built shotgun. I mean, it's all like it's a complete steel construction, and I mean all of these internals right here. I mean, if you look at all that stuff that's hanging down off of that. That's all solid steel. None of that is any kind of cheap metal of any kind. It's all solid steel.
It's meant to last.
And it's meant to last. I mean, you know, like there's a lot of it's a bit of a complicated shotgun. Where, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's complicated.
Yeah, where as compared to a pump, you just have a little button and a slide. It cocks open. The ejector pulls the shell out. With that one,
you have to pull it down, sort of do a downwards motion, and it'll basically not only will it eject the shell, it will also take a shell. There's a feeder. I'm gonna show you guys this.
You might want to
get up a little bit closer. Don't mind the belly. Don't mind the gut. So basically, you can see right here is where the next shell would be. This is the shell follower or shell ramp kind of thing. Yeah, it's hard to try and figure this. So basically, your shell will get ejected once you fire the rifle or the shotgun, and the next shell will pop into this little sort of ramp here in this little platform. And then as you cycle the next round in, it'll raise it up, and then the actual bolt itself will come forward as you push the lever back up towards you, and it'll shove that shell back in there. I don't know how much you guys caught of that. You can kind of get the basic idea. You see that the follower comes, or the ramp comes up after the follower pushed out the next shell, and then you close it up, and it'll basically just keep falling like that. Now the neat thing about this shotgun is that you were able to put a few more shells into it than most normal shotguns. The 820B, for example, I believe can hold how much? 6?
No, not even. Not with the plug in Canada rules and all
Well,
that.
yeah,
But yeah, I believe if the plug was taken out,
you
it
probably
can
have
hold
room for 5.
5 or 6 in here, and then one in the chamber.
Yeah, and in the 1887, it's pretty well the same kind of idea. You basically load through the bottom, so you have to push down that feeding ramp
Yeah.
right down there, and you load through the bottom here.
Well,
Uh,
technically, it is the exact same as this. You feed through the bottom, except you feed from the top, going down,
yeah, exactly. You
instead
go
of
down
from
into.
down here.
You basically have to stick your thumb into all this complicated mechanical action here.
And pray to God that somebody doesn't pull a cruel joke on you and just slam the
slams
lever
it on
down.
your thumb, because it would hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So basically, you could fit, I think, about 5 shells into this tube. Basically, all the shotgun shells will fit right into here. Fit 5 shells into that tube. You can put another shell onto the ramp. Now, the neat thing is that once you push this ramp down, you close the bolt. The ramp doesn't actually come up, and it wouldn't double feed on you. You can put another round inside of the tube, close up the action, fire that, eject it, close it up again, and puts another round into the tube, fire that one, and basically just repeat. And that's what made this gun really kind of interesting to me, is that it just, you've got 7 rounds on tap, and you can fire them as quick as you can operate this lever. And it was quite a devastating little shotgun too.
And of course, back in the day before, all the pumps came out, and the semis and whatnot.
This was the technical marvel.
Yeah, it was nice to have that, because with the pump action, you got 2 shots, then you got to break it and reload it again. With that, you just got to keep cycling, and then load it up again, and you're good to go. But hopefully, for any of the, Pinkertons or whoever was using the gun back in the day, hopefully all their attackers were dead by then, because it kind of takes a little while to load.
Yeah, you'd want to make sure that you shot with some accuracy with these shotguns.
Well, as much accuracy as a shotgun
as much
has.
accuracy as you can. Now, this Dominion Arms variant is basically a cut down version of what the actual full size gun was. And Winchester, I believe, came out with a 10 gauge model, which would have just been absolutely ginormous. Yep. And I believe they came around with.
That was the first model, I'm pretty sure, was a 10 gauge.
Yeah, I think so. I think they later. I don't know if they later came out with the 12s. I think they did.
Yeah.
But anyways, they also had a much longer barrel on them, and they also they had the full stock like this one. But this Dominion Arms one comes with a cut down stock, and basically it just kind of chops about this much right off here. And you've got a pistol grip style, and it was just like Arnie's 12 gauge in Terminator. Oh yeah. And boy, was that that's a badass look. I mean, but you can't. It's not the full loop sized one, so you can't actually chuck it around like it is. Like in the movie there, where you drop the whole weight of the gun down. That was really bad. And then come back up again, because he was able to fucking flip it around.
Yeah, but then again, he was Mr. Olympia.
Well, he was Mr. Olympia. He was also a cyborg at the time.
Yeah.
Arnold, he takes all kinds of forms.
But I mean, if you're a biker, also, this would kind of be one of the better guns for you, because it's legal the length it is, and it would fit decent on a motorcycle. So once again, Terminator 2. But I'd say the best gun, if you're going to put one on a motorcycle, would be an 870 with a 12-inch barrel, because once again, it's completely legal.
Yeah, the only thing is, though, that with the 12-inch barrel, it's actually, if you wanted a pistol grip, I don't think it's quite legal. I don't think it's quite the legal length. I think the overall legal length has to be... I'm not too sure about that, because
isn't the rule if you get it from the manufacturer, it's legal?
But it has to be within a certain length.
Yeah.
So, like, let's say, for example, this...
I think it might just be the barrel that you're able to short down.
The legal length in Canada is 18 and a half inches, okay? So that's the maximum legal length you can cut your barrel down to.
Yeah, that's cut it.
If the manufacturer supplies you with a barrel that is prefabricated, below that standard, it is okay, because for whatever reason, our government allows you to have barrels that are manufactured and such, but not cut down.
We all know the government doesn't make sense. I mean, look at the brass knuckle law.
Yeah.
Because you cannot have brass knuckles that are made of metal, but you can have brass knuckles that are made out of, I don't know, hard plastic, porcelain.
Really?
Yeah, you can have any kind of brass knuckle made out of anything you want as long as it's not made of metal. And it'll be 100% illegal. If it's made out of metal. But
If it's made out of metal.
yeah, but if it's not made out of metal,
so technically it wouldn't
it's
be brass
illegal.
knuckles, it'll just be hard knuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still same effect.
Yeah, exactly. There's lots and lots and lots of loopholes in our gun laws. Lots of loopholes in gun laws pretty well all over the world. I'm sure that there's, never a solid, complete, well, I mean, unless you're like under a dictatorship or your government really sucks and you can't
North Korea.
you can't have any kind of weapons whatsoever, and I pity the people who have to deal with that kind of stuff, because these are, it's not so much that they're killing machines, and I'm going to get into a political aspect here. It's not so much that they're killing
Prepare
machines.
for a longer video.
They are just they're a unique sort of, they're a tool for one. They're very unique. It's a hobby you can get into, and it's a safe hobby you can get into as long as you know what you're doing. And
Yeah.
that's one of the things. I'm a bit of pro licensing, because I believe if you get the license and if you get the training, the proper training, and you are deemed as a safe holder for these firearms, then I think it's okay.
Well, you see, I'm gonna have to differ on you. Like, yeah, it's a good thing, but then again, people can pass the test and they could just completely dick around and have no regard for safety whatsoever.
There. But it can sort of wean them out a little bit. It's not foolproof by any means or stretch of the imagination, but I do think that.
But I mean, yeah, granted, it can wean them out, but I'd say one of the best methods to do is to kind of start them young and be there with them.
Oh yeah.
And show them everything, teach them respect for the gun, and just guide them through it nice and slow. Start them off with a pellet rifle or whatever, and just slowly work them up. And then once they're ready, then go for your firearms license course.
Yeah.
And one thing that quite a few people don't have today is respect for what a rifle can do.
Oh yeah. You definitely have to have a respect for these firearms, because they are in fact very deadly in the wrong hands.
Yeah.
And they're very deadly, no matter what way you look at them. They are deadly for sure, but they could be a pile of fun if you just let them, if you just want to target shoot with them. And I mean, there's the huge self-defense advocates out there. I'm one of those guys.
Me too.
Like we are big on self-defense. We believe that, if the public was armed, it would be
a safer place, because nobody would want to mess with anyone.
Exactly. Now that's a whole other spectrum of issues that we're going to deal with. So let's get back to this bad boy. So yeah, like I said, it is within the legal length, even with the cut down stock. It's basically, where my hand is right here. That's pretty much what the pistol grip would look like.
Yeah.
And I can't flip it around because it doesn't have the large flip around loop. But even like, don't let the movies fool you, because even when you do that flip around loop thing, there's a high chance that your gun will jam on you, because the shells are doing all these weird contorted movements inside of the chamber here. Like, there's a lot of space for that shell to move around, for your shotgun shell to move around, and it'll basically just, you try and do a flip thing, and your shell might fly out, or
you might accidentally set the gun off also.
Yeah, exactly, because you also, there's that, the trigger is pretty well exposed from here on in.
Yeah.
And it comes down, and
it can catch on anything.
It can catch on anything. Like, I'll demonstrate over here right now. Like, the gun's completely safe. There's nothing in there.
Yeah.
But it comes down, and you might not be able to see it, but it'll you'll hear the click. Like, it'll come down, and I'm almost guaranteeing you somebody's going to be able to do this. Like, it'll come down, and you'll like press on it, and there it goes.
Because as soon as you pull that slide back, the hammer automatically gets cocked back.
Yeah.
So it's essentially ready to fire. Yeah. right after it cocks, it's ready to fire pretty well. As soon as you get it close enough, and then
Yeah, exactly. Like there's, I'm sure in modern there's a lot of safety features in modern lever rifles where you have to depress the lever itself up against the grain of the wood of the stock, and it's a safety feature so that your trigger doesn't accidentally go off.
yeah.
Um, but this rifle doesn't have that. I believe this shotgun it doesn't have it. It's just a lock basically for the lever to catch onto. It's just like a lever catch so that it doesn't just odd like doesn't catch on something and then basically it's almost spring loaded. There's so much tension there that I just do a little flick of this and my shell would just fly right out
Yeah.
and there goes my shell. So I need to I have to reload and do that again. So I mean this is a pretty neat little playing around shotgun. It's awesome for shooting at targets. For practical hunting requirements,
I wouldn't really use it for hunting all that
yeah,
much.
it's you know what there's the old timers who used to love doing taking short barreled shotguns, lever action rifles, and they would go out using the hunting dogs and they'd flush out a whole whack load of game out to somebody positioned tree stands, big tactic. And they would love a short-barreled little shotgun like this because they could load it up with 12-gauge buckshot, and they'd be able to just load up all the buckshot they needed into this rifle or into the shotgun, and they would basically as they were going along they would touch off a few rounds in order to flush the game out towards the guys in the tree stands. And this would be a perfect little shotgun for that because it's short, it's freaking loud, and it's nice and handy. Like I mean, you can throw it around, you can just dick around with it,
And when you're out of ammo, it also doubles as a club.
yeah, exactly. It makes for a pretty hefty club. Beat somebody senseless with this thing. But yeah, it's pretty nifty for sure. Like it's a unique shot. It's a unique shotgun for sure. Really a testament to the times.
Yeah.
And John Moses Browning was an absolute genius when he developed this thing because I mean a shotgun cartridge is not the easiest thing to use in a lever action, right? Like I mean they're big, they're bulky, and trying to load one into that loading gate down there is not the easiest of tasks. Like I mean, whenever we actually get out to a shooting video, we'll show you guys how all this stuff works. We'll show you how it loads, how it fires. You'll hear the sounds, and you'll googly eyed, and we'll get all giddy and happy and go lucky kind of thing. And
we'll fire all the guns that we reviewed so far.
And you might see a few of them that we haven't reviewed yet. And if there's one that catches your eye, just let us know, and we'll review it as well.
Yeah.
And we'll showcase them all, and we'll go through it one by one.
But before we end the video, would you like to tell them how much that gun ran you?
Yeah, it was about 300, it was about 400 bills, roughly around 400 bills. I think it was on sale at the time for about $350 or something like that. I can't really remember exactly what the price was, but a shotgun like this, because of the unique construction with all the gizmos down there, all the metalwork and machining that's required into it.
And the heavy steel.
And the heavy steels and stuff like that.
It's well worth the money because it's good and durable.
Yeah, I mean, for a hunting perspective, I wouldn't say so, except for that whole dogging practice, if it's even still done these days. I mean, some of the old timers probably still do it. And I mean, for plinking around, for shooting steel, for just for having some fun in the bush, even to carry this guy as a bush defense gun. If you had some buckshot and some bears or something like that, if you saw a coyote that didn't kind of jive you the wrong way, or a bear was getting a little too close, I mean this guy's a handy little shotgun. I haven't had too many issues with the ejection of shells. There has been some problems with like reports of various different ones. There's Dominion Arms, there's Norinco, there is a couple of other ones that make shotguns just like this. They're all pretty well made the same. I chose the Dominion Arms just because I liked how short it was, and I mean, show it off to your buddies and stuff, and all the buddies at the hunt camp and all the buddies who are into guns just like us, they always go googly-eyed over this and they love it.
Yeah.
But like I said, there was some feeding, not so much feeding issues, but distraction issues. Now, it's contemplated that the extraction was like whenever you basically keep racking the rounds, the round that comes up on the follower here would basically push the round that just came out of the barrel out of the extractor claws.
And right into your face.
And right into your face. Well, it extracted right up. I haven't had one smoke me in the face just yet.
I have.
But we basically found that on the last round, almost continuously on the last round, it would pop up and it would catch itself on those little claw extractors. Now, the 12 gauge shells back in the day were only meant to be 2.5 inches. This one's meant for 2 3/4 inch 12 gauge shot shells, and it can take slugs. It can take the rifled slugs, but not the sabots. Well, I guess it can do the sabots, but it really doesn't fly too well. Really. Yeah, it can take anything. It's a cylinder. It's a cylinder bore. It's got no choke in it whatsoever, so everything just flies right out of it. Big sprays of patterns and whatnot. So, but all in all, it's fun.
So to summer up Dan's 20 minutes of talking, it's a good gun.
It's a good gun. It's fun. It's enjoyable. I would recommend it for somebody who just loves to dick around the bush and whatnot. And
if you have the money.
And if you have the money. I mean, it is a little pricey for a sort of a knockoff. It's not a real Winchester by any stretch of the imagination, but it is still a lot of fun. And I know Canadians love it, and I'm pretty sure Americans, if they got their hands on the real deal, they love them too. And it's just an awesome little shotgun. And yeah, that I think that pretty well concludes it. I'm sure probably might just squidge this down just a little bit, I hope.
I don't think I can.
Oh.
Yep, so this will be the
this will be a long gun review, just pre-warning.
And
we'll put that in the comments.
I will try to teach Dan to summarize a bit more.
We'll get bulletin points going on here.
Yeah, as you've noticed.
Remember, we're just starting.
I kind of say my thing and he just goes on. But
there's a wealth of knowledge up in here, and I'm gonna teach you guys it. I'm gonna teach every single one of you guys this wealth of knowledge that I've got up here.
But it's kind of best to just get it out rapid fire.
No. They want to hear long droning, foaming at the mouth.
I don't think so. I think half of our audience is asleep right now, buddy.
Wake up!
But yeah, thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you want me to shorten down Dan's speeches, please leave a comment.
Yeah.
And if there's any other videos you want us to do, just let us know. Like if you want us to do a video on A20B or Dan's Mossberg. What was it again? The one that he just got.
195.
His Mossberg 195 that he just picked up there.
We've got plenty of other firearms too to showcase off. I mean, I've got two 870s myself, Remington 870s.
Yeah, one with a 12-inch barrel.
Well, it doesn't have the 12-inch barrel on it.
But we have the 12-inch barrel.
We can put it on there.
Yeah.
Various bolt-action, semi-automatics, military rifles. We've got lots.
I love my
of
military rifles. I have a 1917 Eddystone American Enfield. So if you want to see that, just let us know. Mm-hmm. And if there's anything you want to see, just let us know in the comments, and we'll do our best if we have said gun.
Well, we might just do a showcase. Well, what we'll do, we might just take all of them. We'll take all of them out of the cabinet. We'll line them all up, and we'll point them, each and every single one of them out. If you guys want us to do a video on it, we'll do a video on it.
Yeah.
And that'll be.
And also, if you want to see any guns or tank battles or anything like that of history, please let us know, and we will work on it for you and try to get it to you as quick as possible. So thank you for watching Poor Man's Gun Club. I'm sorry this was such a long video if you managed to stay till the end.
If you haven't fallen asleep yet. But if you have, wake up! Yeah. Wake up!
And I need to teach you something about summarizing.
Hey, brand new YouTubers here. Brand new YouTubers. That's all I gotta say. I'm sure we can get long and drowny. There's 60-minute videos out there.
You almost made me fall asleep in the chair, Dan.
60-minute videos out there.
Couldn't get in a word.
Shut up. Shut up. There's 60-minute
Trying to say stuff and you're just like, I'm just going to keep going on.
It just goes on a tangent. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I guess I'll have to like tap you every now and then when. But
Damn, shut up.
yeah. I'm just gonna be blunt about it from now on.
Bullet points. We're gonna have Bristol board, bullet points, a big marker board, and we'll just.
Dan, shut up! I'm trying to end the video.
Okay, bye guys.
Okay, so thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And from Dan and I, have a good day. And remember, guns don't kill people. Intent does.